All right. We are live. What is up, everyone? And welcome to the Random Encounter Podcast, episode 110. I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the fanboy himself, Phaneckswhy,
What's up? What's up? What's up?
the great ace attorney, Ash Destroy him,
I ain't that old, but what's up, guys?
and the dress fear master, what do they call? I completely forgot what they call it. The dominant. There we go. The dominant himself, Brian.
I like that. That's cool. Did you click record, by the way?
I did click record. Yeah,
All
that
right,
was the
awesome.
main thing. I was making sure I was like, I gotta hit record. So I did hit record.
I'm the dominant of dress sphere. I like it.
Yeah, dominant dress fear. You know, you got the stuff. You got the Green Bay Packers going on today. You know, typically got
R.I.P.
some
They lost.
good stuff. But yeah, we got quite a bit going to talk about today, and I am getting encoder overload, of course, because I'm recording while also simultaneously streaming on two things. We're both live vertical and horizontal, as well as Twitch. So we are live in technically two places, but technically three places because the vertical shows up on Shorts, the horizontal shows up in regular YouTube, and of course there is Twitch. But yeah, like I mentioned, quite a bit to talk about today. Nintendo released a new app for mobile devices. A game that I've been asking for the longest has finally been announced. Yes, a game. You know what game?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were talking
I was
about
about to
the
say.
other Nintendo. They were talking about the other Nintendo release besides the game.
No. We have something going on.
The
that
app.
Yes. No. Something I'm very excited for. And a studio closure, unfortunately, that happened. We'll be discussing those three things. But before we get into that, as always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Share the channel. It does help a lot. If you're over on Twitch, go ahead and follow on Twitch. Share that Twitch Prime with us. It does help us a lot as well. So without further ado, and before we dive in, we're going to go ahead and start with what we've been talking about. While you do that, I'm going to go make sure that all our audio levels are great. So let's start off with you, Bryant. What have you been playing?
I finished Silent Hill 2. I got the leaving ending. I forget. Yeah, so what's really interesting about Silent Hill 2 is that there's like 7 or 8 different endings, I think. And I can't imagine going through that game 7 or 8 times and still having a semblance of sanity after doing it. Like, it takes you to a really dark place. It's really just a depressing, depraved, dirty, sad, heightened anxiety kind of place. I can't imagine somebody wanting to go through it that much. It's a great game, but it's kind of like like one of those movies that it's like the best movie you ever watched that you're never gonna watch again, you know? So, maybe one day I'll go through it again and try to get more of the endings and maybe get all the achievements for it. But that one trip through Silent Hill, those 20 hours, that's good enough for me for now. I really hope they redo Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 4, The Room, and all the rest, because it's a really special series. It kind of is, the way that I always describe it to people is like if you put it like to a sci-fi analogy, like I would say that Silent Hill is more like Star Trek and Resident Evil is more like Star Wars, because Star Wars is more like actiony with like some good lore and story elements. That's kind of Resident Evil. And Silent Hill is kind of more cerebral. It's a lot more like about like the psychological stuff, like depression, and there's like sexual abuse and just really gnarly stuff in it. That really kind of takes you to different places. So it's really great game. Bloober Team did a great job. I also am trying to finish that Warhammer Space Marine game. I'm getting close to that. Is that it? Is that really all I've been playing? And then Sonic Cross Shadow Adventure. Is that what's called? Sonic Cross? No, not Adventure. Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Yeah, there we go. Really enjoying that, but something that I find is a really interesting kind of contradiction about Sonic, and I feel like it's been that way forever, or not forever, ever since they start adding stuff to collect besides the Chaos Emeralds. I find it kind of frustrating that in games like Sonic Generations, you have like the 5 coins you can collect, and like there's like chows you can collect in the level, and it's like the whole point of Sonic is to like run through a level as fast as you can, as stylistically as you can, and take different routes to get to the end and see everything. And when you turn it into an exploration game where you have to find these little coins here or there, it's just kind of I don't know, kind of slows down the pace. I guess you could ignore it, but they put him there. I want to get him. I'm all about 100% in games, but it looks really nice. The music's great. The levels are really fun. But yeah, so I'm working on trying to 100% Sonic, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Before we get too far into this, I'm noticing that the stream is very jittery.
Yeah, I'm seeing that as well. I'm trying to double check and
Let me see.
fix
I'll check
that.
on my side.
Yeah, it should be. Hopefully, it's doing that because I had encoder overload. I had to stop recording because I was getting encoder overload. So basically, we have to go back to what we've been to before. Let me see. It should hopefully catch up because it looks like, yeah, where I'm at right now, it looks like Bryant is now doing good. He's a little bit behind. So we should be good now. We should be good. So, Fan,
Okay.
you go ahead next.
Okay. I haven't been playing too much. Still playing the Ally X. I jumped back into Samus Returns using the dual screen with my Ally X. I've also been playing some Gravity Circuit. So for people who like Mega Man, it's an interesting game.
Nice. Yeah, Gravity
It's
Circuit's
like
pretty good.
it's like a Mega Man / beat 'em up. Like if you took a Mega Man and a beat 'em up and put them together.
Yeah,
I guess is the best way I can explain it.
No, I think it is. I agree. What about you, Ash?
It's kind of cool, but yeah.
So there was 2 games that I started playing. So one of them is Alien Isolation. That is really trippy and scary as hell. Like it's just I love the overall sound design as you're traversing throughout the entire space, the entire ship itself and everything. It's great, and I'm playing everything off of the Steam Deck and everything with my headphones. It's just perfect. I love it. Playing on my bed and everything, and then along with that, because James mentioned this before in the last podcast, Remastered Saga 2, Revenge of the Seventh. I've been playing the demo of that game, and I'm more than likely will be picking this game up pretty soon
Told you.
because bro, I really hate the fact that they kind of just like stop you after they show you the inheriting system within the
Yep.
game, and it was like, why you did this? The story's getting good and everything. I think one of the great, like, there's so many things about this. To start with, voice acting is amazing, and when I'm talking about voice acting, I'm seriously talking about the English voice acting. Gerald or whatever his name is, the one of the protagonists, he is amazing. He did stellar with his performance.
Yep.
Love it. The freaking combat system, the freaking turn based. I think like when everything comes together, like at first you're gonna be like, oh, it's just like a generic JRPG, is whatever. But as you keep playing more and more of it, you'll literally grow onto you, and you start learning more little things about the game where you're like, oh, you can do this now. Oh, with these formations, you can do this and all that kind of stuff. And it's really good in how the game gives you a lot of like ways to customize your characters and stuff, which is awesome as well.
Yeah.
And music is also awesome. Music is great. The battle theme is great. I love it a lot as well. So it's a lot of things to talk about. I feel like so far the story is kind of cookie cutter / generic, but the way they're executing it is really well done in my opinion. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna plan on picking up this game probably by the end of the month. Maybe it depends how fast I can get through my other games too. So, but Remastered Saga 2, Revenge of the Seventh, definitely pick it up. Try out the demo first and see how you feel. But great, good game.
Yep. 100% agree. Like I tried out the demo because I was curious about it. Like I've never played the game. It's a remake, and I've always been just curious about the game. I remember going through like the App Store, seeing it on the App Store. I'm like, this seems like a pretty interesting game. It feels very Final Fantasy-ish. It came out around, Super Nintendo, I think is when the first games came out. So it had like similar aesthetics. I was like, all right, I'll get to it eventually. And I think this is a perfect entryway. It's a remake. And yeah, I like the demo. I enjoyed the demo quite a bit. So pick it up. Green Man Gaming. You buy it from Green Man Gaming. It's like, I believe it's $40. You save $10 off of it. Yeah. So definitely worth the pick
I
in
was
my
thinking of
opinion.
picking up.
Yeah, I want to pick it up. I probably will pick it up before the end of the year, but 2 weeks.
You got so much
2
stuff
weeks.
to play,
I
James.
do.
Yeah,
I got that too.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
difficult. It's just because now I never had this game on my radar until I played the demo. So I'm like, damn it. Now I want to play this game too. So I'm just
Yep.
like, what the hell? There's another RPG out of all things. So
Mhm.
it's god dang it. So
Yeah, in 2 weeks though, we got the RPGs of all RPGs coming out, so I can't wait for that. And that's
talking about Xenoblade Chronicles X.
no, that's not in 2
Oh,
weeks. I
Brothership,
wish I was in
Brothership,
2 weeks.
Brothership.
No,
Nope.
he's talking about Dragon
Brothership.
Quest 3.
Oh, of course.
Yes,
forgot about that
Dragon
one.
Quest 3. As far as what I've been playing, so I've been playing Star Ocean: The Divine Force. Got the ROG LIX, been playing that, and I'm actually really feeling it. It's like really, really good. I've gotten further in, and it seems like everything's starting to pick up, and I'm enjoying it. I wasn't a fan of the battle system in the beginning. I felt like it was too slow. It's too sluggish. You only have like 3 moves, and you're just repeating the same 3 moves. But like any other Star Ocean game, you do learn moves as you go. The difference is like in the other Star Oceans, you have a normal attack, and then you get like arts. And this one, like your arts are your normal attacks. So, and I don't believe they're called arts. Arts are from Tales of. I believe they're called something else. I can't remember. But I'm calling them arts right now. In this game, your arts are your regular attacks, so you have to kind of like format them how you want to do them in what order. And you have like this little bar that like fills up over time, and as you attack, it uses up that bar. And in order for you to attack again, you have to go ahead and run around so that bar fills back up. And at first, I was very annoyed of it, but I think I got used to it, and I've learned more moves, and now I'm enjoying it a lot more. And where I'm at, I really like it. Voice cast is pretty good. I gotta double check the voice cast, 'cause I think the voice actress to Tifa does one of the voice is one of the voice actresses for one of the main
Britt
characters.
Baron.
What is it?
Britt Baron.
Yeah, I think she's one of the voice actors in this, or actresses rather, in this game. It sounds alike, but I could be wrong. But the cast seems pretty decent. Story wise, seems pretty good where I'm at right now. So yeah, I'm excited to continue that. The other game I've been playing is Like a Dragon Gaiden. And man, there's a track that got into. It's called well, I forgot what the official name of the track is, but it's in the boutique shop. Boutique shop is where you dress up your character for the fight arena, as well as when you're roaming, so you can put on like a jacket or whatever, change the shoes and all that stuff. And man, that song is fire. Like I don't know what Sega was thinking of putting that song in there. Like this is like they made a hit lo-fi song, but not like they put it in this game, and it's such a good song. I was playing through and I hit it, and I was like, man, like, all right, I'm really vibing with this jam, and it made me not want to leave the boutique shop. I just stood there listening to the track because it's really good. So if you have time, just type in Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, boutique shop OST, and yeah, and I think it's available like on Spotify and Apple Music. I'm almost 100% sure it's available on there, so you can go ahead and listen to it on there, put it on repeat, because I'm telling you, you will enjoy that track. And the last game I've been playing is a game that actually came out this week that probably nobody else here is playing, but I've been playing for quite a bit since it came out. It's Pokemon TCG Pocket. It is the Pokemon trading card game, but I guess you could say a mini version of it. If you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but for Pokemon trading card game. And I'm enjoying this game. Like the addiction I've got into the game is pretty big. I'm here opening up packs, trying to get all the full art cards and everything like that. Doing the battle systems. The battles are great. Everything about it is pretty good, and it's very quick pace. So it's not like you have to spend a lot of time in a battle. Most battles are maybe 5 minutes tops, which is nice. Were you gonna say something, Ash?
Yeah, I have a friend that actually recently got into it, and he's trying to get me into it now. So I'm just like, bro,
It's good.
I keep trying to tell him, bro, I barely got time to play games like that anymore. Like I haven't been even playing my gacha games at all for like a good month and a whole month and a half, honestly. So yeah.
Well, right now it's very like not forgiving, but it's very, how can I feel the right word? Like I haven't spent any money, but I've got a bunch of like nice rare cards. And it's like it's kept my attention. Most games, it's kind of like if you ever played Duel Links, like Duel Links kept my attention. It's kind of like Duel Links. It's very good, very simple that anybody could jump into, even if you don't know the TCG rules. Because I know they've changed the TCG rules over time, so I don't remember them. I just remember what the Game Boy Color game had as rules, and this has its own rule set, and I think it's very what's the right word? Very easy to get into. As far as like drawing the packs, like I've drawn so many card packs and I've gotten so many good cards that it feels rewarding, even though you're not paying any money. So I recommend it if you like trading card games at all. I think you'll enjoy this. There's not that many cards available, so not all the Pokemon cards are available. The most you will see is most of them are from the original like 150, but then you have mixtures of other Pokemon from different generations in there. So yeah, highly recommend it. But those are pretty much the only games I've been playing. I will soon be getting to this sometime this week. This is the Retroid Pocket Mini. It finally came in after they walked it over, from China over here because that's what it felt like. It took 16 days to get here. I finally got it, and for initial previews, real quick, it's solid. Like it feels really good. It's very small. Like it is small, and I like it. This is something that I could, technically put it in a pocket. Probably won't fit in my pockets, but you can technically put it in a pocket. You can put it in a bag, throw it in there, and it's small enough. I haven't turned it on because I think I'm gonna do a live stream of me setting it up. So we'll see if I decide to do that. So I haven't turned it on. I haven't seen the screen or anything yet. So we'll wait till that happens. All right, let's go ahead and get started with some smaller news. And I forgot to open up this site. But there is a list of PS5 Pros that are being enhanced on day one. Give me a minute to pull up this site. Brian, is your PS5 Pro showing up? Was it Thursday, I think?
Thursday. Cannot wait.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to next week. You're gonna give us that preview. I guess not preview, but like our
It'll be a review by that point.
Yeah, it'll be a review at that point. Yeah, you can give us a review on what you
First impressions.
Yeah, first impressions. Yeah. So here's the list. So
I have a bunch of plans.
You have a bunch of plans for it?
Yeah, are you going to read the list of the games for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Do that for then I'll tell you.
Okay, so here are the list of games that are going to be PS5 Pro enhanced. Alan Wake 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Demon Souls, Dragon's Dogma 2, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, F1 24, Gran Turismo 7, Hogwarts Legacy, Horizon Forbidden West, Marvel Spider-Man 2. Must be a typo because it's here twice for some reason. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered, Miles Morales, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Resident Evil Village, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Stellar Blade, The Crew Motorfest, The First Descendant, The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, Lies of P, and Lords of the Fallen. I believe that's the whole list as of right now. Yeah, it looks like to be the whole list as of right now. What were we going to say, Brian?
So I was in the middle of a playthrough of Horizon Forbidden West, and then the PS5 Pro news dropped. I'm like, okay, well, I'm putting this on the back burner because I'm not going to go through this whole thing, and then the Pro comes out and it totally makes it look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I put that in the back burner. I'm probably like almost halfway done with that, so I'm definitely looking forward to getting back to my playthrough of that because I was really enjoying it. Stellar Blade, I definitely want to go through again to do it in hard mode for sure, especially with the visuals. Because so far, we're not quite at the end of the year yet, but so far, Stellar Blade is my game of the year 2024, which I'm sure we'll discuss as we get closer to the end of the year. Yes, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, I'm ready to have my heart broke again. I want to play it again on hard mode, and I don't know if I'll ever be skilled enough to get the platinum in that game. I'm pretty close, but I want to go through it again on hard mode, and maybe now knowing that I can skip all the crap that's in it, all the bloat stuff, maybe I'll like it more just kind of getting through the chapters and everything and picking up the trophies. What else was there? Oh, I really want to do a platinum run of The Last of Us Part 1 and replay that because I haven't played it through since it came out back in, what was it, 13? I think it came out 14? Or was it like 13 or 14 or 15? I don't remember. For PS3 originally.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what other I want to play Harry Potter or the Hogwarts Legacy on it, even though I started it on Steam. I'd like to just kind of see how it looks. But yeah, those are like my three mains. Those or four mains: Horizon, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy, and did I say Horizon, Final Fantasy,
Stellar Blade,
Last of Us, and Stellar Blade? Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think you're the only one getting the PS5 Pro from all of us. I think all of us were kind of dead set with what we already have. So we're definitely gonna await your opinions to see how you feel about the PS5 Pro and if you felt it was definitely well worth the upgrade, which I'm pretty sure it will be. But I will like to see what you guys say next week. So for everybody interested to see if the PS5 Pro is worth it, especially going into this holiday season, wait for Brian's thoughts next Sunday. Let's go ahead and start talking about the bigger news that happened this week. Starting off with, and we're going to keep it Sony for right now, with the developers of Concord, Firewalk Studios. They have been officially closed. And I got mixed feelings on that because even though Concord seemed very generic and it wasn't well received at all, which hence why they shut down the whole game and everything. But I don't know. I feel like just because they failed once, you shouldn't just close down the studio. I think they deserve another shot. There's a lot of other developers out there that have failed and they've come back big time. And I feel like they might be able to get it right. You just got to let them cook. Like maybe let them do a Killzone. If you're not going to let Guerrilla Games do Killzone, maybe you should give them the Killzone IP and have them online and do something like that. In my opinion, because that's an IP that's just sitting there. And I doubt Guerrilla's going to go ahead and do another Killzone because they're too busy trying to make new Horizon games. But what are your thoughts on Firewalk Studios kind of being disbanded? And I want to say they weren't announced as a Sony studio, or Sony bought them not that long ago. So it just feels, I don't know. I want to say like it's a shame to do that in my opinion. I think you should have given them another chance. But what are you guys' thoughts on this?
Well, it's on. Well, the main reason why Concord even failed to begin with was mainly because of Sony.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna just put that out there. Sony was trying to bake on this game way too damn much because how popular arena shooters were and team-based arena shooters were back then. I think Overwatch was like the one that pretty much popularized that genre to begin with, and Sony wanted to capitalize on top of that. And because they were just putting so much money into this game, that's where they pretty much failed at that point. If they didn't put too much into Concord, then they would have been fine. They didn't have to shut down the studio, but they did, and it's mainly Sony's fault for doing that in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So
I won't say it's Sony's fault.
Why not?
Well, they did buy them, but they developed that game way before Sony bought them. Right? So some of it's kind of also on Firewalk for probably overpromising what they couldn't deliver.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take. Yeah, I think
you can't blame it all on Sony because Sony didn't own them the entire time of the development of the game. The game they said the game took 8 years to develop. Sony only had them in their pocket for less than 2 years. At that point,
who overpromised?
At that point, it's
did Sony overpromise or did the dev team overpromised?
I think the dev team overpromised because, again, at that point in time, they're 6 years into development of that game already. They had to sell Sony something for Sony to buy them.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think when it comes to
you can't blame it all on just Sony. It's a two-way street on that.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah, it can't be, because it did start development when they weren't owned by Sony. Then they could have overpromised. Sony, is not 100% off the hook though, because I did feel that part of it is their fault too. But
they could have rewrite the ship or something, or re-steered them in a different direction. Obviously,
and I feel like because when I was looking into on what they had originally when it came to like designs and everything was better. When they were actually like making the game, but when Sony went into it, like I don't know what the budget was before they even sold themselves to Sony, but I'm pretty sure it was a pretty big difference of budget when it came to making Concord after they were under Sony's wing at that point. If like you said earlier, Joni, what the hell? If you like you said early, James, if Sony didn't intervene too much on the development of Concord and just let them do their thing, I think the game would have did fine to begin with. And like I understand on fans' perspective that like literally that the studio need to sell themselves to Sony to let them know, hey, they can make them a really good arena shooter. I get that, but at the same time, it's just there was a lot of cool things that they already been doing, but they never got they never made the final cut to the product itself. And I feel like that Sony was involved with pushing that stuff out along with other things that they had as well. Because when you're under Sony, then there's a lot more middle management that's going on within that studio at that
Yeah.
point, you know. So
Yeah.
it's just they should have had better management when it came to like the budget, amongst with other things too. And you know, I wish the game would have done well. And like I feel like Sony should have, you know, like look back and be like, you know what, we shouldn't have put too much money into a video game like this. Maybe we should give them another chance and let them do their own thing and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know. So.
What about you, Brian? Any takes?
Yeah. Sony was where the puck was. They weren't where the puck was going.
Mhm.
A hero shooter in the year of our Lord 2024. Just you got to really bring some A+++ gameplay that is just fresh and differentiates yourself from the rest of the pack to make yourself special. And like I guess they had the story bits were kind of cool, but the artwork was so ugly in that game, like the character design. I actually played the beta of it and like it was okay, but it's like would I rather play this or just go play Halo Infinite? Like Halo Infinite all day was much better than that. I mean, it's not exactly apples to apples because Halo isn't Overwatch, and this is a little bit more kind of like Overwatch feely because it's a hero shooter and stuff like that. But it looked good. Sony way overpaid for it. I mean, the amount of money they lost on this thing is just mind blowing. They could have made, you know, what a couple Last of Us games or you know, Bloodborne remaster for that like 6 times over, and they would have made so much money on it. So I just don't get why they decided to pour all their priorities in this when there were so many easier goals to make, if instead of an own goal in this case of buying Firewalk and sinking so much money into this project that just didn't have any legs to stand on for one reason or another. So it's not unexpected that they got closed. It was a big investment that failed. I just hope that they learn from this and learn what the audience wants rather than what they want the audience to want, which is an online shooter that lives forever like Fortnite, that makes Fortnite revenue when really that's like a diamond in the rough. It's not something that just happens every day. I mean, how many of these online shooters have shut down over the past few years? Like Knockout City comes to mind immediately, and there's a bunch that ended up closing because it's too oversaturated. The audience is in their game, they're playing those games, they don't want to move over, and you can't just like force them to because you're Sony and because you think you have a cool, like, it has to be exceptional to get people to move. People don't like change. So not unexpected that they got closed. But it is sad that people lost their jobs. And I just hope that more comes of this in the future.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I was going to say the same thing, that like a lot of people have come and gone. They've been trying to take over and get a piece of that market that Fortnite has, that Call of Duty still has for years, and they failed. Overwatch was very close, and I mean, I was to an extent, I would say Overwatch is there, but it's kind of like fading away. A lot of people are not happy with what Overwatch has become. Valorant comes to mind as well as something that I feel that has gained popularity, and you know it still becomes popular. Like Valorant, I was a big fan of, and it's a mixture of like Overwatch and CS:GO, where it's a hero shooter, but it's like more CS:GO mechanics, and that's something that is still popular today. Nowadays, it's just very rare for a game to just pull anybody. You got things like X Defiant. A lot of people were saying like it feels like old school Call of Duty, and look what's happened with X Defiant. Like it's, you know, nobody cares about X Defiant anymore. So it's hard and it's tough, and I feel just for the shooting genre, it's like you said, it has to be very exceptional, and I think that's very hard to do. What is going to cause somebody to move from Call of Duty Warzone or Overwatch or Valorant or any of these games like Fortnite to their game? I don't think anybody really has an answer. Like you have to do something that's different. You have to be super innovative. You can't just copy and paste because a lot of people won't fall for copy and paste. Fortnite, I feel, got very lucky with the copy and paste mechanic where they took PUBG and then they made it Fortnite. And not only that, they were free to play too. So it was an easier, right? There was no barrier to entry. You can just download the game and play it. It was available on almost anything at one point. And that I feel like that's what helped them out in that sense. In terms of like Concord, you're paying, was it $40 was what the game was worth, right? Was it 40 or 50? No, it's something like that. You're paying 40.
Yeah, it was cheaper, I think. Yeah, they had like an Ultra Edition that came with some like DLC stuff, and then they had like the normal. I think it was like 40. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So it's like you're having somebody spend money on that, and if a lot of people already are not feeling, they're probably gonna be like, no, like that's a pass. Because to spend money on anything, you have to be really well worth it. It's hard for somebody to spend money on that. Maybe they would have done better if it was free to play and they just added in all this. I doubt it, but maybe that might have helped out. Maybe they would have put it on PlayStation Plus and let people get it for free. Maybe that might have helped out, but I doubt it. When it comes to Firewalk Studios closing down, I don't know. I feel like maybe if they tried with Killzone, I think Killzone has a chance of getting a piece of that cake that Call of Duty has. It's just you need somebody to develop for it. And honestly speaking, Guerrilla Games I think would just be the best developer for it because they would just have to come back to that. What they did in what was the Killzone for PS4 called? I can't remember now. Shoot.
Shadowfall.
Yes, Killzone Shadowfall. What they did in Shadowfall, I really enjoyed, and I feel like they would have had to kind of replicate that, but make it a little bit better to get people to dive in. And not only that, only make it PlayStation exclusive. I also think maybe put it on multiple platforms. Put it on Xbox. Let Xbox players play it. For a shooting game like that to survive, I think you have to be on multiple platforms at this point. You can't just be exclusive, or else you're gonna end up like Mag did back in the days. I don't know if anybody remembers Mag.
Nope.
It was
Yeah, I do. It's that game was like 40 verses, or no, was it more than that? 80 verses or something like that?
Yeah, it was more. I don't remember exactly the player count, but I know it was boasting like the highest player count in a video game. And yeah, it didn't do so hot. Nobody cares about that.
The game was called Mag.
I believe it was called Mag. Yeah, I'm almost positive it was called Mag.
Interesting.
Yeah, unless it's a different name, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think
Yeah, it was Mag. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they
wow.
were the
Never heard of
developers, the original developers of SOCOM, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong on it, but I think that's who they were. Yeah, I mean, perfect example of a game that's struggling is Battlefield. Battlefield kind of lost their way, and Battlefield used to be on par with Call of Duty. I used to prefer Battlefield over Call of Duty,
Same
and
here.
this kind of Battlefield went and lost their way, and most people are going with Call of Duty. I forgot to mention too. I've been playing Black Ops 6 on the ROG Ally X, testing that out. Runs
You
great.
enjoying it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm enjoying it.
okay.
Runs great. At max power, I get like 90 FPS. At on what do you call it, on performance mode, which is 17 watts, I'm getting at least 60. I don't know what it is because I have the frame rate counter shut off, but I'm sure I'm getting 60 at least. There's an interesting thing on that game on the ROG Ally X. I have the Xbox Game Pass version. It does not allow me to go ahead and customize my graphics settings. I don't know why. It's almost like if it's it reads the hardware information and knows it's a gaming handheld, and it just chooses what's best for the Ally.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I think actually, I don't think so, because I have a friend of mine that also is playing Black Ops 6 from the Xbox store, and on his PC, and he also gets the performance and quality option as well. So I think it's more on the fact that since you're getting from the Xbox store, they may have to alter the code a little bit to like fully understand on what system that they're playing on,
Mhm.
because on the Steam version, apparently it's normal. You can go through the different graphical settings and adjust it how you want it on the Steam version,
Okay.
but you can't do it on the Xbox version.
Somebody told me that they got the Game Pass version. They said that they're able to adjust their settings. I was like, are you sure? I assume that that's what it was because that's what they told me. So I was like, all right, so maybe that it knows it's the ROG Ally and doesn't allow me to adjust it. But if your friend's doing that, then they lied to me. Liars.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what the truth is, but that's according to my friend, if anything. So
Gotcha. All right, moving on to the next topic. Nintendo has released another application that came out this week. An application that actually we've been talking about for quite some time. I want to say I've mentioned it plenty of times that I feel they should have done. And let me rephrase it. Not an app that I wish we had, but music that I wish we had in other storefronts. But regardless, Nintendo has come out with the Nintendo Music app that has not every Nintendo song, but they have quite a bit right now with promise of more to come in the near future, which I think they just added Super Mario Brothers Wonder because I got a notification saying this is new. And And I don't remember if it was there day one or not. I'm assuming it wasn't because the notification said, brand new or just added to Nintendo Music with Super Mario Bros. Wonders. And I think it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying the app. I've been playing some of the music from there. I think the sleep time playlist they have is pretty rock solid. They have a mixture of like Pikmin 4, Nintendo was a Weather Channel app and stuff like that. They have Wii music on there, which is amazing. They got Wii music, so you can listen to the Wii Shop channel music. They have an extend feature, which is pretty dope, where you can go ahead and tap on the extend icon, or it says extend. You tap on extend, and you can extend whatever song you're listening to up to 60 minutes, which I think is pretty awesome. So if you want to listen to the Wii Shop channel music for 60 minutes, you just click on that, and it'll be a 60-minute version of that same song, which is pretty cool, which is one reason why I think it's nice that they're doing this in their own application. Has anybody else here besides me played around with the Nintendo Music app?
Yeah, I have. I think it's so pretentious. It's such a pretentious app. And what I mean by that is, number one, it doesn't show the composers. It's just like
Yeah.
these are songs from random games, and I don't like how it disrespects the work of these composers.
Mm-hmm.
Two, no, I really don't think that it's good enough to warrant somebody getting
Yep.
what fan. What do you? Did
Are you
they
sure
show
that
the
the app?
composers
Nintendo
now?
Music app?
I just showed the app.
Oh, okay. I thought you were proving me wrong about something. Okay. It's not. It doesn't have enough depth. I can't talk enough depth
Mhm.
to it to warrant somebody being like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a Switch Online subscription so I can get the Nintendo Music app." No, if it had like 90% of all Nintendo first party games ever made, then I'd like, okay, maybe that would be something that somebody would pay money for through Switch Online. But given the fact that this is pretty limited, I mean, it doesn't even have the 3 mainline Mario games from NES. Like, it doesn't have 2, it doesn't have 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it has World. It has World 2. I know Yoshi's Island.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just so limited. And it's like, if you're gonna do this and just release things piecemeal, like, why wouldn't you just put it on the major streaming platforms? Like, yeah, your royalties would be smaller probably, but at the same time, again, I ask, who is buying a Switch membership to get access to this app as limited as it is? You figure they'd get more money going through a streaming service than through their own app that isn't that, like, I feel like it'd be a lot more forgivable if they put music on a streaming service and it was limited, like, I don't know, maybe a dozen games to start off with under the Nintendo label, and have people get royalties for it that way, rather than making their own app, the R&D of creating their own app, like the amount of investment it takes to make that app, and then upkeeping it with like OS updates for phones and everything, and then expecting people to invest in it because they have a Switch Online subscription, which, given that it's not that deep, I don't see anybody doing that. I don't know. It's fine. Like, it's a cool little bonus, but I was looking forward to checking it out when it came out, thinking, yeah, that would be a little bit more than it was, and I was a little disappointed. Like, I'm cool it exists, but I just wish it were available in the more mainstream streaming options.
Yeah, the game list they have here: Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Pikmin 4, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, Splatoon 3, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Kirby Star Allies, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That's the Switch one. When it comes to Wii games, they have Super Mario Galaxy, Wii Channels, which is basically all like the Wii ambient music and the Wii channel music. On Nintendo DS, they got Tamagotchi Collection, Nintendogs, which don't sleep on those soundtracks. They actually have some dope music. If you've watched some of my videos, I use a lot of their music because they have nice bossa nova type style music. So I do use their music on it. So don't sleep on their soundtracks. They're actually pretty dope. Nintendo GameCube has Metroid Prime. Only Metroid Prime. Game Boy Advance only has Fire Emblem: The Blazing Blade.
That's crazy.
I know. N64 has Ocarina of Time and Star Fox 64. Super Nintendo has Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country. Game Boy has Kirby's Dream Land, Dr. Mario, and then the NES has Metroid. There's the Metroid Famicom Disk System, which I guess is higher. I don't know. I didn't listen to that one. I think it's higher, not bit rate, but like higher quality music. And then Super Mario Bros. Original. So I do agree. Like when I saw the list, I was like, oh, like outside of like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which I do like their soundtracks. Splatoon 3 has some dope songs. Mario Odyssey has some good songs. Mario Kart, like there's a decent amount, but the music I was
Where's Super
looking forward
Metroid?
to, yeah, it's like there's no Super Metroid. There's no Fire Emblem outside of that. Like there's no Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn. Like Radiant Dawn has an amazing soundtrack. I think it has a better soundtrack than Path of Radiance. I mean, for the heck of it, put Super Smash Brothers in it. Like Super Smash Brothers has like the best soundtrack in any video game, I would argue, and that kind of eliminates a lot of the other songs. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot. Like Nintendo GameCube, there's no Mario Sunshine. Mario Sunshine has a lot of good music in it. Wind Waker has good music. But I also kind of get it. They're gonna add it over time. Like in their little thing, they showed, say, Skyward Sword. I think they showed Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. They showed a bunch of games in the real world. And this is more to come, and I'm sure they'll go ahead and over time, kind of like Nintendo Switch Online, they will add a lot of these songs. But for the most part, I do get what you're getting. Like I wish it was on my already platform that I listen to my music on. I listen to my music on Apple Music. I wish it could already be there so I can mix it in with my other songs, my Sega music, my there's Persona, Like a Dragon, Sonic, other music. There's like a bunch of video game music. Final Fantasy music is all mixed there. Like why can't I do that? So is what it is. Fun fact: in Japan, in Apple Music, they have all the Pokemon music in there.
Of course they do.
On Apple Music. You know how I found that out?
How?
So when the Apple Music app came out on PS5, I went ahead and was using it. And I was like, okay, I wonder what music it had. And I forgot, I typed in something. And it showed like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl original soundtrack popped up.
Oh,
I was like, what? And it literally showed me every single Pokemon game on there. I was like, oh, let me play.
I want to go to town on that, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, I hit play and it says this song is not available in your region. I was like, well, that's dumb. I can't even listen to that. But yeah, that's how I found out that Apple Music has all the Pokemon, which I assume Spotify will also have all the Pokemon music on there as well. Yeah, funny there.
You want to know something that really irks me, that really grinds my gears? It's that all of the Mega Man X soundtracks are on streaming services, but the original Mega Man games are not on streaming services, and that really annoys me.
That's true. Mega Man 8 has some good music. Love Mega Man. I think Mega Man 8 has the bst soundtrack.
Dude, all of them do. Wait, it's so funny. I bring up the Mega Man soundtracks. The first one you say is 8.
Yes.
How about 3? How about 2?
8's better.
Like
8's better.
Oh my god, this may be a worse take than. Oh man.
Nope,
Okay. Anyway.
Soundtrack. Mega Man Bass is a close second. Close second.
Okay. Just stop talking. Just stop talking. What's the next topic?
Next topic is I have written here how Mega Man 8 has the best soundtrack. It's crazy. Like
I forgot to say my piece about it.
Evan McKee, thanks for the subscription.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ash.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much like my thoughts are pretty much similar to Brian's, except like in the bit of the more technical side, I'm pretty sure the reason why they're trying to go along with this because they're trying to keep you inside of the Nintendo ecosystem, and by doing so, they're trying to deliver like a SaaS solution, and SaaS stands for software as a solutions, and then at that point, they're trying to make sure you stream their stuff from their platform and everything. Which okay, fine, you can do that, but financially, I don't think is going to bode well for you because, for starters, you already seen that they have to literally make their own application just so you can stream their music. And where are you getting this music from? Well, obviously, you're getting from their servers, whether if it's a cloud server from Microsoft Azure or a cloud server from AWS, it costs money. And then when like a lot of devices are streaming from these cloud resources that Nintendo's essentially hosting themselves, it still costs more money, which is why right off the bat you're not going to be seeing a whole tons of music into that application. Now, how they will fix this? Simple. Put it on Apple Music and Spotify so they don't have to make those stupid apps and stuff, right? Like I don't know why they're trying to make things harder on themselves. Just put it on Apple Music, put it on Spotify like every other studio is doing. Like, just do that. Like, why go through all these things? Because I feel like they have the money to do so, but it's not feasible for them to do it and stuff. Yeah. Maybe they should start just putting on putting songs into Apple Music and Spotify, and then once they have a better like foothold when it comes to the finances, then they can start doing the app stuff, and that's pretty much about it. And I find it kind of ironic too, like what Brian said earlier on about how like when you play the music, they don't even tell you the name of the composers that did the music. It's hilarious because back in the day when Gilva Sunner used to upload all these music on the YouTube, he always credits all the composers, credits the name, everything. You would know every little detail about the song, and I loved it. It was great, So it's just Nintendo like is stepping in the right direction, but in the wrong path, if that makes sense. I wish they had better decisions when it comes to these kinds of things. So like all we're asking is, hey, can we just streaming music pretty easily and still give you money for it? Apple and Spotify. We've been asking this for years. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my side.
Were you a fan? Any thoughts?
Why make it?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's like why? Like you guys had said, there's Spotify, there's Apple Music, there's YouTube Music. I mean, there's playlists on YouTube that just play video game soundtracks.
So I will tell you this, like, because you mentioned YouTube, I'm afraid because I use a lot of Nintendo music as background music for my videos. I'm afraid that
you're afraid you're gonna get DMCA?
People. Yeah, because now that they have this app, are they gonna start going after people who use their music in the background? Like our Starting Soon has quite a bit of Nintendo music in it. Well, I think maybe like 2 or 3. But like a lot of my videos I have Nintendo background music. I use a lot of their music. Like I said, I use Nintendogs because they have some dope bossa nova music. I use Tamagotchi Life or any of the Tamagotchi games. They have some dope bossa nova music. And it's like, now that they have this, are they going to start going after creators for using their music? I mean, it's not beyond Nintendo to do that. They do that for a lot of things, so why not, right?
Very true.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Like, I wish we would have had it already, like on Apple Music or Spotify or whatever your streaming platform is. I do like the feature though of the extended music. I think that's pretty cool that it will just extend the songs.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to do that. Like that's like a very like extra thing. Like you wouldn't expect them to make that possible.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
exactly. Like that feature is something that you wouldn't get on a normal streaming app, which I'll give them credit for that. It's pretty cool. When Smash Bros soundtrack comes out on it, I will be playing like the trophy room from Brawl. I'll be playing a lot of that for 60 minutes because that song is also really dope. But yeah, we'll see what it is. I recommend everybody listen to the Sleep playlist. It's pretty dope. It's nice and smooth. It's calming. Their hype playlist is not hype. It's not called hype. I call it hype, but it's the one that's supposed to be like their running playlist. I was listening to. I was like, this is not a good running playlist. I would not run to this music. Like it's really, really bad. You would think they would have like all Mario Kart music or something like that, but they don't. They don't have any Mario Kart music in that playlist. No, they have a couple ones. All right, in our final main topic of the day, the one that I've been waiting to talk about, and I'll save the best for last. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Finally announced. This is a game that a lot of people have been asking forever. This game I've been asking forever. I have it on my Steam Deck. I played it at 4K. It looks beautiful in 4K, 60 FPS. It's also very demanding. Like, you really need some pretty decent specs to play this game. I played it with my 3060 Ti, 4K 60, and it still requires a lot. But it's a very beautiful game, a very great game. And for me, I think what I really like about it is like, I'm a big fan of sci-fi stuff. I feel like a lot of sci-fi stuff is not as good as it used to be, but you have stuff like Dune, which technically speaking is an older IP, right? But like there's like Mass Effect and stuff like that. I really like sci-fi stuff. And Xenoblade Chronicles mixes that RPG / Japanese RPG style and adds sci-fi elements to it more so than Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3. X has a lot more of that. They have mechs in there. You have a different planet on. There's like aliens. There's all these things going on. And I really like that. And it's a game that was stuck on the Wii U forever. It didn't sell as good as Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I want to say. And then, of course, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, when that came out, that sold even more. And it felt like they were not going to bother with bringing X. They were just going to forget about it. Because after 2, people were hoping for an X2. But no, we got Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And that wrapped up that trilogy. And they even like kind of pointed out that X has no connection to 1, 2, and 3. So people were kind of like upset at that. Like, is X just going to go ahead and die out and nobody's going to worry about that? Well, now we have Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition coming out March of next year, which I feel like is way too far away to
agree.
announce it, but is what it is. It is going to have enhanced visuals and new story content. And what's crazy is they specify new story content, and when they say new story content, they show the ending, which anybody who's played it, it's in the trailer. They show the ending, and everybody was upset because the ending was a huge cliffhanger. There's two things that happened in that ending, and nobody knew what happened there. Has anybody here played X except for me?
I play a little bit of it. I haven't
Or
seen.
besides me, I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't like got deep into it. I think for like the first like 5 hours I played, and that's pretty much it. And that was back in the Wii U days when I had a friend of mine that had the game. So, but I'm definitely gonna be replaying it again once the remaster comes out. Would you call it a remaster?
Yeah, I'll say it's more of a remaster because it's
remaster.
Didn't they call it definitive edition? Is that what they called it, definitive edition?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna be picking it up on the Switch, and I'm gonna be
me too.
having a blast with it. So
I bought my voucher already for it, and I'll have an odd number. It's so funny. I'm gonna have another voucher that I don't know what to use it on because I had to buy one for this. So hopefully they announce, like, I hope like Metroid Prime 4 is gonna be the one that'll come out next year, like one of the last Switch games, and I can use it on that. That'd be a perfect bow on the end of the Switch's life.
That's weird.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said it's not part of the voucher. That's weird. I didn't
Xenoblade
realize
is.
that.
it is.
No, Metro
Yeah,
Prime
it is.
4.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not because they don't have a solid release date on it yet. That's why.
See, Libiana says, "Have you ever played Metal Gear?" Yes, I have. I've played every single Metal Gear game, and I love them all, except for Metal Gear Acid. I wasn't a fan of that.
Except for what?
Metal Gear Acid.
Oh, Acid.
Yeah, wasn't a big fan of that. Some people liked it. I just didn't care about it.
Was that a card one?
Yeah, so when there's a card base for PSP. I remember
That's
when that
weird.
came out, and I was like, "Oh man, like Metal Gear on portable," and then it's not Metal Gear Solid, it's that. But then Portable Ops came out later on, and then of course we got Peace Walker on PSP. But yeah, Pan, have you played Xenoblade Chronicles X at all?
I have never played a single Xenoblade game recently.
You gotta play it. I got
Never played Xenoblade Chronicles. Never
He-
played
he's not
Xenoblade Chronicles
Xenoblade,
X.
How do you play a Xeno game like Xenosaga,
Yes.
Xenogears?
So the only Xeno game I played is Xenogears.
I
on
did that.
PS1.
Yes.
Got it. All right.
That's
That is the only one I played.
I was gonna say, is that the only line
Hey,
that
long.
Fan knows? Oh, that's for Xenogears. Yeah, Xenogears is funny. That's the only. Well, I haven't played Xenogears or Xenosaga. I knew of them. I never played them. And every time, yes, I know. Every time I started Xenogears, I stopped. But now I got this beautiful 4x3 machine that has an OLED display. I will be going ahead and playing it on this. All my
Xenogears is so good.
Yeah,
that's
I
one
wanna
they should
play it.
definitely remake. That'd be cool.
I mean, they'll have to get together with Sony, and since Monolith Soft is owned by Nintendo, I doubt.
Yeah.
Sony, or not Sony. I'm sorry.
Wait,
Square
wasn't
Enix.
I was gonna say Xenogears is Square Enix. Yeah.
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 Same thing. Sony, Square Enix. Not really, but. Oh man, no, Xenoblade Chronicles X, you gotta play it. Like, it is good. It's one of the biggest worlds.
Is it your favorite one?
It's definitely my favorite one. Yes.
Interesting.
The music is amazing. It's different. It's different from 1, 2, and 3. So
New
you're not gonna
LA.
get that guitar. Yeah, you're not gonna get that guitar riff. But if you like Hiroyuki Sawano, for those of you who don't know who that is, Attack on Titan music, right? He did the soundtrack for Attack on Titan. He's done like Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. He was the main composer for that. What's some other ones?
Premiere.
Yeah, there we go. Premiere. He's a composer of that. There's a couple of other ones he's done. He does a lot of good music, and it's funny because when X first came out, people did not like X, which was crazy.
Really?
They did not like X mainly because of the music. They're like, oh, this is a step down from Xenoblade Chronicles or anything like that. But then a couple years later, Attack on Titan comes out, and people are like, oh, the soundtrack of Attack on Titan is amazing. And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's the same composer, and you can tell because he has a style. The minute you hear that song, you're like, oh, that's Hiroyuki Sawano. You know his music because his style's very, like, I don't want to say the same. He's not like Motoi Sakuragawa's like style where everything sounds alike, but you can tell that's him because he has the vocal parts. Like, he has the vocal. He likes to mix up different languages. So have like people singing in German, people singing in English. people singing in just different languages overall. He does different mixes and stuff like that. But the soundtrack is amazing. New LA is a great song. At first, I would agree I did not like it, but I kind of vibe with it. I like the morning version, and then the nighttime version is also pretty good. The what is it called? The unique enemy encounter one is pretty good, and then of course just all the world music is really really good. I really do like the soundtrack that he has for that. But the soundtrack is not the only thing that's about it. It's good about it. The world is pretty big. It's huge. Like as far as height goes, I want to say it's probably still the biggest world when it comes to height, because I don't know of any other game that allows you to scale as high as that game does. Literally, you can get into your mech and start flying up, and you keep going up and up and up, and yeah, you can go pretty far. I remember there was an old YouTube video that compared Xenoblade Chronicles X to Skyrim, and they were able to basically finish Skyrim, I want to say, in a quarter of a time than to go from one side of the map to the other than in Xenoblade Chronicles X, because the world is huge. There's a bunch of different islands you got to travel to. You can't reach them all by well, you could technically swim. You can swim like all the way if you wanted to, but the easiest way to go ahead and do it is get into your Skell. And he used the Skell to travel from one side to the other, which is a lot faster to travel than just running and swimming. And it still took him a lot longer to go from one side of the map to the other in this game versus Skyrim. Now, Skyrim's not a good example anymore because it is an older game, but at that time, that was known as one of the biggest open worlds that was available in that era. The other thing is just the monster designs and unique monster design, the habitats of the monster. During the day, you'll have like a pack of wolves running around and hunting other monsters, and at nighttime, as the sun is setting, you will find them, and if you follow them, they will run into a cave and then just fall asleep in the cave. It's not like they just despawn and they disappear. No, they will literally run into a cave and be sleeping in that same cave. It's crazy, like how they have this living world. No pun intended, because I think people who play the game would understand what living world of that game is. See, Liviana says Snake Eater is supposed to release soon. Yes, I'm excited for that. And then Attack on Titan soundtrack, top 3 of anime. Yeah, I'm telling you, like Hiroyuki Sawano has a great vibe when it comes to his music. I love his music. There was another anime I watched that he composed called shoot, what is it called?
I didn't realize that he did the soundtrack for that's for Chronicles X. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
He did lots of work for different animes and games too, different mediums. I just keep forgetting which ones he did.
There was an anime. I don't know if anybody else watched this, where it's a mech anime, and I want to say like it's something about like Earth being at wars with Mars, and like Mars has seemed like their superior race, and they're
Zone of the Enders?
No, it's not Zone of the Enders. It's a similar story, right?
Heroic Age? No.
No. What is it called? I can't
Gundam?
really remember. It's not Gundam. No.
Darling in the Franxx?
No. What is? Let me find out what it is.
The anime starts with a G, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Is there one called like Mighty Number 0 or something like that?
No, it's not Mighty Number 9.
Not Mighty Number 9.
Al Noah 0.
Yes,
Zero
right.
Six.
It had Zero. On it. Yes.
I remember that one. Okay,
it was that one. Yeah, he did the opening to that. He did all the music to that, and that anime was pretty decent. I enjoyed it, but like the soundtrack is like fire. Like I love that soundtrack. It's really really good. The Promare soundtrack is also really good. If anybody's watched Promare, it's pretty good.
Oh, I love Promare. Don't get me started on that.
He had during COVID, he did a bunch of like acoustic covers, and he posted them all on YouTube. And what's that song from Promare? It's one of the songs from Promare that's in acoustic. It's all acoustic guitars and everything. Amazing cover that he did. It's
I'm trying
so
to figure out
good.
which one. It's definitely not. It's definitely not Trials of Fire. Definitely not that one. I'm trying to look through. Let me try to look through for what I have on my Apple Music.
Let me see here. I don't want to play the song on here because I think I will get copyright.
So the ones I have, I mean, I can hopefully I can show you the ones I have here. I don't know, frick. God damn, it's a stupid blur thing. and my freaking
Yeah, I
light.
can't see it because of the blur.
Well, I can read them out to you. So Inferno, that's like the intro of the movie, and then there's Gal Mas. I don't know if that's the one.
Nexus.
I don't have that one.
You don't have the
over
one?
here. Okay.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
type in just type in I just typed in Hiroyuki Sawano acoustic, and it was the second result. And this is from your first anniversary, Nexus. And it's acoustic cover. Amazing cover. Highly recommend listening to that. It's a nice cover. If you like acoustic guitars and stuff like that. I'm a little bit of a music nerd, so I like acoustic guitars. And bass, of course, bass. But yeah, I'm excited for this, and I hope everybody plays this game. Do not think of it to be like Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3. It has, again, it's not related to 1, 2, or 3 at all. Totally different character cast. Maybe like the monsters, there's overlap in like the monsters. That's about it. It's its own thing. It's closer to like Xenosaga, actually. It's a lot closer to Xenosaga.
Yeah, I actually agree with that. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's in many ways, I would say, in many ways, because there's elements of Xenosaga, and as somebody who's never played Xenosaga, I was able to tell this right away. These elements were in that game, so I highly recommend. The story is pretty good. I like the story. It does this weird thing of the way it does storytelling, where the main story scenarios kind of like give you what you need to know, but all the other world building is done outside of the story, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3 where you have these 10-minute cutscenes that are explaining every single thing about the story. It's kind of like, oh, here's this part. Now figure this side out. And that was like one of the criticism about it, is that the story wasn't kind of straightforward. But I think the story does a good job either way, and it leaves room for speculation because it does answer some things, and other things are like a mystery. And that's why a lot of people wanted a sequel, is because this mystery of what is going on with this planet, what's going on in this world, what is going on with everything. And I hate that nobody here has played this because I can't give away spoilers, because I think the story is so good, and there's so many moments where it's like a plot twist. There's so much of that in this game that you're going to be like, what? Like, is this actually happening? And it happens throughout the story. You see literally the first plot twist, maybe in the first 5 to 10 hours in the game. Once you think you know what's happening in this world, you start realizing you don't know anything happening in this world. It's like that all the way from the beginning to the end. Really, really good. Really enjoy that. But I hope this means that they'll continue Xenoblade Chronicles X, and either rather than them finishing X with these extra story elements, they lead into an X2, because I do want to see more like sci-fi RPG, something like Xenosaga that was very sci-fi.
Yeah, at that point, I'm pretty sure they're pretty much just testing the waters with this one here, which I'm pretty sure is going to do well, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
Remote Play Gaming says the Tamagotchi collection music was a surprising hit for me. Yeah, it is. It is. 100% agree. Sorry for being late on commenting on that. Figure Drawing also says, panel question, is it more likely that Switch 2 is released first quarter of 2025 or fourth quarter of 2025? For everybody writing in the comments, I apologize. I have to look in like 3 different directions for all the comments because I don't know. I think I need a third monitor to be able to see all the comments. I have to kind of click through everything and get all my notes there. So this was for us from Figure Drawing. What do you guys think? Is it more likely the Switch 2 is released first quarter of 2025 or fourth quarter of 2025?
I say fourth quarter mainly because they're going to announce the Switch 2 by the end. During the first quarter of 2025. So, which doesn't mean that the Switch is going to release in the first quarter. I'm thinking that they're going to try to aim for fourth quarter.
No, I disagree. So, there's no way they can release this. They can release Switch 2 that late. Like, I agree with you. I do think it'll be first quarter for announcement. I don't think it's going to happen this year because they have all this stuff stacked up. But I do think it's going to probably be an announcement in maybe like January or February. And I would be shocked if it's out anytime after the summer, because I mean, we think about the original Switch got announced in October, November, and it came out in March. So it's like, 5 or 6 months or whatever. And I think they'll have a similar trajectory because it sold like freaking crazy when it came out with, Legends of the Breath of the Wild and all the rest. I just think that they are way over their skis if they think that they're going to announce this thing in January and anybody's going to really they're gonna wait a year to release it after announcing it in January. Like that's so long.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
Yeah,
so.
because holidays.
It's gonna sell in the holidays
Simple
anyway.
as that. Like, they
It's
do
gonna sell in the holidays
holidays.
anyways.
They do
They'll have the bundle
holidays.
for it and all that.
They straight up say, "Hey, you're gonna get Prime 4 with this. Get a new Mario game, dude." Like, listen, that's how I feel they're gonna do this anyway. So it is what it is. So, and so far they haven't announced the Switch 2 yet, and we're already in November. So they're gonna probably announce it either January or February, and be like, "All right, pick us up at before holiday and have fun." So.
What are you fan? What do you think?
It'd be cool if we got like, it's probably not gonna happen, but it'd be crazy if Nintendo like just did a drop announcement. This
Shadow
month.
drop.
I don't drop the Switch.
Like no, well they didn't drop it, but drop an announcement like out of just nowhere, right? And
Like what they did with the Nintendo Music app, just drop a little press
Yeah.
conference or a little news item, you know.
like
No big
just
deal.
out of nowhere, just bam, and then we get it, spring of next year.
Spring next year.
I'll tell you what. If
Maybe
Nintendo-
Xenoblade Chronicles X, is going to be a launch title.
I hope so. I think so. I got something else to comment on Xenoblade Chronicles X, but like it would be the craziest thing because you didn't really say it, but we thought that's what you meant. If Nintendo shadow dropped the Switch 2, that would be the craziest logistics of hiding all that information, getting them into stores, and making everybody be quiet. And it's just like, oh yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 available right now at your local retailer. That'd be the craziest thing. Like, I think it would cause chaos.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, like people will be running just to go ahead and get the Switch 2. I know I wouldn't be running; I'll be driving. But people would be going like crazy to go ahead and get the Switch 2. That'd be funny. Not funny, but funny. But yeah, as far as for me, I don't think it'll be Q4 either. I think it's gonna be like Q2 or Q3. It's gonna be somewhere between spring and summer. Main reason being like Nintendo doesn't really follow like fads, right? They don't follow traditions. They don't go through and go ahead and release things during holiday season. And I think they want to have a build up. No matter what, they're gonna sell. Like if you release it in March, they're gonna sell. Releasing the Switch in March, I think was amazing, and they know it was because there was nothing that came out that month,
Right.
Except for Horizon, but like nothing came out that month, and they capitalized on that. They dropped that with Breath of the Wild. What else came out? Just Breath of the Wild. That's the main thing everybody wanted.
Bomberman.
Yeah, there's Bomberman too.
1-2 Switch.
1-2 Switch. Yeah.
Yeah, there's 1-2 Switch, I guess. Yeah, there's that too.
They gotta have a big holiday game for Switch too. Like I don't think they're gonna put all that out there at once. It's too much of a shotgun approach. Like I think they're gonna do the system, have a killer game to start off with. Maybe bring out some cool like third-party ports that weren't possible on Switch. Bring them to Switch 2. Maybe make it so those cloud games like Kingdom Hearts and the Resident Evil games that are like cloud only, like make them playable on Switch 2 natively. And then they'll have like some really big holiday announcement, and that'll drive sales even more.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they're going to trickle out like games, and holiday is going to be where maybe their biggest games are going to be coming out. But they won't stop at that. Like I do think they're gonna have a big game. They have to have a big game that comes out with the Switch 2, and I think Metroid Prime 4 is that game. Whenever Metroid Prime 4 gets an official release day, I feel that that's that. What are you gonna say?
The only thing about Metroid Prime is that like it's big for guys like you and me and us or whatever, but like it's not Zelda in its popularity in the United States. Like it's a little niche. Like it's not. I mean, Metroid Dread did really well or whatever, but at the same time, it's a lot less of a commitment. Metroid Dread's a bit more casual because it's 2D and it's a little bit more limited, whereas 4 is going to be pretty intense, I'm sure, as far as how big it is, and it's not exactly something that appeals to the mass audience generally. Yeah. So maybe it could be a launch game. It looked good enough where it maybe could, but I would expect it would be something a bit more mainstream. Like, what about like I don't know. But
yeah, I feel like they won't do another 3D Zelda as a launch, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see that.
Or
Maybe
like
Mario, like a Super Mario 3D, like Odyssey or
that'd be cool.
Something else.
Not Odyssey. Yeah, that'd be cool though.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like Odyssey 2 or something. Not Odyssey.
No, not Odyssey 2. I don't want Odyssey.
Not Odyssey 2.
Super Mario Sunshine 2. That's what I want.
Super Mario 64, the remake, like with modern controls and everything.
Mario Galaxy 2 remake.
Yeah,
that'd be cool with that.
At least put that. I mean, at least put that on there because since it wasn't included in the freaking
complete Mario 3D All Stars.
Yeah, like freaking hell, made no sense.
Maybe they'll take a play from Sony and make Mario Galaxy Part 1, with
Oh,
some
God,
updated
please.
graphics.
Don't
And
do
then we'll
don't
get a
do
Mario
that.
Galaxy Part 2 later on. The,
Figure
see-
drawing. Prime is niche. Yeah, Prime is kind of niche. I don't think
It
there
is.
was hype for Dread except for the people who actually are Metroid fans.
It was hype for Dread.
Correct.
I think a lot of people were excited, at least in the gaming media, was excited
Yeah.
because Dread was something
Yeah,
that
Metroid fans.
that
That's what I'm saying, Metroid
was
fans.
yeah. You talking about like Metroid fans are not? They don't count as hype. Like what?
No, they do, but I
They
think
do.
what we were talking about is like beyond the niche, like the mainstream. It wasn't that
Yeah.
big of a deal. It did sell well, but
Like you're not gonna grab like
Mhm.
your everyday platform like, oh, what's this game? Metroid Dread. That sounds interesting.
yeah,
Like,
your Madden
people in the
player
know
isn't generally
will-
going to play Metroid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Madden players aren't gonna play anything but Madden. Yeah, Figure Drawing also said. So you all agree that fourth is more likely than. No, I don't think fourth quarter is more
No, Ash
likely.
is the only one that thinks that.
Yeah. Yeah, none of us are
Insane.
saying Q1. Like I think we all agree that it's not a Q1.
I think it's
a
gonna be Q1
launch.
announcement and Q2,
probably-
Q3 release.
Mhm.
It'd probably be like late Q1, late Q2,
Maybe.
Yeah.
around there.
I'm down on the hill for Q4. Watch.
All right.
All right, we'll see. We'll go back to
If
this
you
when
get
the
it right,
announcement
I will give you kudos, my friend.
You're gonna give me your ROG Ally X. Wait, did you sell that already?
I don't have a ROG Ally X.
No, he
I
returned
thought
it.
you did.
Yeah, he did.
No, I
returned it.
rebought the Steam Deck. Yeah.
All right, you can give me your other Steam Deck.
You'll just be rocking 2 Steam Decks.
Yeah,
Just
for
be
no
like-
reason.
He says one more question. Would you be more hyped for F-Zero GX Online Remaster or Double Dash
Yes.
Online Remaster?
Both.
Oh.
Both.
No, it's an
don't-
or.
I
It's an
don't-
or. You gotta choose one.
It's an or.
Okay, Mario Kart Double Dash. That's literally my favorite Mario Kart game. So
I think I'd
Alright.
say
I'd
Mario
prob-
Kart Double Dash as well.
Yeah,
I'd
but
say
like
F-Zero.
likelihood of that happening would be nil, just because they already have the unlimited.
Mario Kart is like
Mario Kart.
definitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Mario Kart
Wait,
8
Mario
is
Kart,
definitive.
Mario Kart 8 or Mario Kart Infinite is never gonna go away. Like more,
And we
if
don't have
anything,
any
they
F-Zero
should do
games.
F-Zero. Yeah, exactly. They should
Yeah,
do
F-Zero.
F-Zero GX because there is no
Yeah.
other F-Zero game other than what's on
no,
the
no,
Switch.
wait. So what was the
Online.
question that the guy
99.
asked again?
Or is it F-Zero 99? No, F-Zero.
Yeah, but I don't even count
99,
that. That's
but that
like
doesn't really count.
No,
It's
I
an
don't
F-Zero
count
game. That's gotta count.
That is
Wait,
an
time out.
SNES F-Zero game.
Wait,
it's a
time
gimmick
out.
It
game.
just had some extra like things to it.
Wait. Time out. What was the
It's something
question
more
again?
current.
It
Which would be more
says-
hype for.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be
Yeah,
more
then
hyped
I
for
would do
Double
Mario
Dash
Kart
because
Double
I'm
Dash then.
because I wouldn't be more hyped for Double Dash because there's like
I would.
I'd be more hyped
Okay, so
for the
me and
F-Zero game 'cause there
Fan-
hasn't been an F-Zero game in forever.
me and fans say F-Zero, James and Ash say Mario Kart Double
Yeah,
Dash.
Falcon Punch, man.
Mario
I
Kart
don't-
Double
2
Dash
versus
to me
2.
was literally the most unique Mario Kart game ever because they were actually being innovative in how you drive, how you play with characters, and then on top of that too, if sorry, pardon my language, if that stuff was online, you would literally you can literally have 8 players in a lobby co-oping together in the racetrack. You can't do that with any other freaking game, like straight
That's
up.
true.
So
That's not a point.
like, I'm just saying Mario Kart Double Dash all the way, honestly.
But
That's
it's so
got a
good
point.
already.
One last thing I want to mention, going back to the topic of Xenoblade Chronicles X, was that there's some like side by side comparisons, and I don't know how accurate those side by side comparisons are, because a lot of it looks like the Wii U version looked a lot better than the Switch version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I feel like that's definitely not an accurate comparison. It also could be that it's like early footage, because there has been times where they show like early footage of games, and then when the game actually comes out, it looks a lot better than what they're showing. But for me, for this to be a definitive edition, it has to look better overall. There is a difference in the character models. They did show a difference between the Wii U version and the Switch version. The character models are more, I don't want to say like cell shady, kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3, but
They're more anime-esque.
yeah, they're definitely more anime
Yeah.
than the take they did with Wii U. But it's not like a 90-day difference.
I think
from,
they
like,
look
Xenoblade
better.
Chronicles 1 or 2. Like
What I've seen, I think the
like
models look
Switch-
better.
Yeah, the one I've seen,
Yeah.
I actually like the Switch
That girl?
version better.
Yeah, Elma.
Yeah, she looked better in the Switch version.
Yeah, that's why I feel like the models themselves look, but like the backgrounds and everything look sharper. But like I said, the video I watched, I don't think that's a 100% accurate take on the difference between the two. I would rather wait for a real take or a better footage to come out. Not only that, like they could be comparing a 4K upscaled, from the emulator versus this, which some people do that. Some people do that. Try to make a game look worse when it's not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's people like that. I think actually that is everything we have for today. Does anybody have anything else to say?
Yeah,
Anything
just
else to share?
play the demo for Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven. Give it a shot. A lot of people haven't. Pretty sure haven't played that series before. This is a good chance to do so. A demo. It's not even long demo either. It's like I'll give or take an hour and a half demo. Well, maybe up to 2 hours. You want to maximize your time, honestly. So just give it a shot. You can play on your Steam Deck. You can play on a Switch, obviously, right?
Is it on Switch?
Yeah, it is on Switch. It is. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Play on Switch. I don't know if they got a demo for the Switch, but whatever. I don't know if it's on PlayStation or Xbox, but if it's on those platforms, 9 times out of 10 probably has a demo. So try it out. I loved it. James loved it. So
Yep. I think Ben tried it. I thought. Didn't you try it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Isn't Brothership coming out really soon?
yeah,
Next week, I think, or this week.
Is anybody else getting that besides me?
I'm getting it.
You're getting it?
I've been telling you I've been getting it for weeks, man.
Take
I'm
care
ready
of
for
your
that.
drawing.
James, are you getting it at
I
launch?
want to get it. I want to get it. I don't think I'm gonna get it at launch because like this whole week I'm gonna be doing my ROG Ally X review, and then I'll also be doing starting also on this. So I don't think I will have time for that, unfortunately. I do want to get it on launch, but we'll see. We'll see. No
Yeah,
promises.
we'll see how well I can devise my time with games right now. Hopefully, I can get certain games beaten before Brothership comes on my doorstep. But I don't know.
I'm trying to see because a good way to save, right, is not only doing the what is it called, the Switch Online Pass thing. I forget what it's called. The Switch Online, the ticket thing. What is it called again?
The
Voucher.
Voucher. There we go. Not only doing that, but if you have a Costco membership or any type of Sam's membership,
Get
a lot of times
percentage
they
off.
do. Yeah, they have discounts on the cards, like the $100
Mhm.
Nintendo eShop cards. So you can save a lot.
Stack it. Yep.
Yeah. So for example, you can get like $100 card for, let's say, $80. I'm just giving an example, but you get like $80 plus you use that on the voucher. Like you're saving quite some money for that. So it's well worth it to look into that. So I'm hoping there's some pretty good deals coming Black Friday because I still want to pick up Jamboree and I want to get that as well. Those are the 2 games I'm really looking forward to playing currently on the Switch, and then of course I am getting day one Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D.
Absolutely, you are.
Yeah, you're making
I'd
sure
like to play Jamboree with you. That'd be fun. I have it. I'm just waiting to play with somebody.
Yeah.
What was I
I
gonna say?
was telling
about...
James about this channel on YouTube that I watch called Smosh, where they play Mario Party and Mario Kart and stuff like that, but they play it differently, where they try not to win.
They try not to win.
Try not to
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's funny.
Or because there's one where they do Mario Kart, but then they try to make it to where the winner of the challenge, you have to get 7th place. So 7th place is the winner. So just cool
through all the
things,
games.
throughout the game. So that's it's fun to see people try and do that. So
You
if
guys
we
ever
all
see
get Jamboree, that'd be an interesting take to try.
Yeah.
You ever see that episode of South Park where they get to the baseball championships and they try to lose, they're purposely trying to lose, so they stop having to play baseball.
I've never seen that episode, but I feel like I've seen.
Oh yeah, the other
that type
team
of
was
thing
so
on other
good
things.
that they were good at losing. They can hit
Yes,
the ball
correct.
exactly where they wanted to hit. Yeah, I remember that.
And then Randy's dad is like, "I thought this is America," and he's all drunk because he's trying to fight everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, had the bat dad.
That's a great episode.
That's funny. Anybody else got anything else to say?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say too, when you're talking about Costco, oftentimes Newegg has deals too where you can get a $100 eShop gift card for I think 90 or is it 95? 90. I think it's 90. You get $100 for 90, so that's something to look out for as well.
Yeah, and you don't need a membership for that.
Nope.
There's that. Even though I think Costco's membership's worth it, but
Probably, yeah.
yeah. I mean, for gas alone, I mean, you get usually sometimes, at least over here, sometimes 10 cents difference, which not a big deal, but every bit counts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that will end today's podcast. I do want to say, apologize for the beginning of the podcast. Things were a little bit stretchy there. I'm definitely going to need a new GPU on there. I think it's because I have so many scenes going up right here. Because the way a vertical stream is aligned, I'm probably going to try to work with it and make it a little bit better to fit everybody. But in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to do some type of backdrop. So I will try my best to work on the vertical, figure out something that will look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing because it's right now plain and it just shows us. I think it gets the point across that we're all talking while in camera, but I'll try to find something that works good so we can all be shown on the vertical aspect. As far as what we're doing in terms of the horizontal, I will have a different backdrop there. A lot of things I want to work on.
It's time, James. It's time to upgrade the computer. Put away the
It is.
Ambernicks. Put away the Retroids. Upgrade your
Yes.
computer. It's a quality of life improvement for the stream and for all of us. It's time.
Yes, I do agree with that. Because yeah, specifically when I was getting an encoder overload, I went to double check GPU usage, and sure enough, while recording, yeah, my GPU went to 100%, and that's what it is. So I'll figure something out in the meantime. I am hoping to get an upgrade on my GPU next year because I'm sure early next year we'll have new cards coming out. So excited to see what comes out there because that'll be a bigger jump than getting something right now because I'll be going from a 30 series GPU to a 50 series GPU or AMD, depending if I decide to stick with AMD in terms of GPU. And I think that's it. When it comes to that, as always, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow over on Twitch. Share the channel. Sharing the channel does help out a lot. Gets new viewers in. I want to thank everybody for coming in. I probably will continue to stream both vertically and horizontal so everybody can choose their flavor, how they want to join with us. And we should be back on Thursday with the group stream. Bryant, where can I catch you at?
I am at red_so_deep on Twitter.
What about you, Ash?
You can catch me on at Astastream on YouTube. So I still haven't uploaded a video. So
What about you, Fan?
You can catch me on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter at Phaneckswhy.
As always, you can catch me right here where I will have a video up this Thursday. And hopefully every week going forward, I will have a video up. So stay tuned for those. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Bryant. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Fan. And we will catch you next time.